Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a quick look using the Stoned Rose Instant Look in a palette from Charlotte Tilbury. Since the Sephora sale is still going on, I wanted to go ahead and apply this palette so that you guys can see it on my face. The only thing I wish that this packaging had was this exact print on the cover of the palette. I love this and I think that she should have put that on here, but whatever. So I have used my Bare Minerals Original Foundation to prep my face, and I have used my Mineral Veil to set it, and then everything else is going to be in this palette. I did use my Bare Minerals Summer Bisque concealer just as an eyelid primer, and I applied that with my Bare Minerals blurring buffer brush. Love this thing. You can actually get a concealer and this brush duo on QVC, and I think you get like a deluxe size of this. So this is tiny. This is only okay, it doesn't say how many ounces this has, but this is really small, and you can get like 3 times the size of this on QVC with the brush included. So in case you wanted to know. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do is I like to do my complexion first before I go in with the eyes. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna go in with the, well, for the sake of this video, I guess I'll follow the steps because they're all numbered. So this is what the palette looks like. And see, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then you can see, like, you know, these are the 3 eyeshadows, the bronzer, the 2 cheek shades, and the highlight. So let's go ahead and start with the first shade, which is the Brighten shade. And I'm trying to get my Charlotte Tilbury brushes. So I'm gonna go in with my Charlotte Tilbury eye blender brush. Oh, actually, I'm not gonna use these. What I'm gonna use are that little set I got with all the little brushes in it. Where did I put that? I'll be right back. Okay, I'm gonna use the brush set so that if you guys are interested in picking this up during the Sephora sale, you can. So I'm gonna start off with the blender brush in here, and I'm gonna go into this first shade, which is the Brighten shade, and I'm gonna apply that all over the lid, all the way up to the brow bone. Usually the first shade is a very light shade. I've noticed that even if it looks shimmery, it's really not when you apply it with a brush. It's like this satin finish almost. So it could be a little bit deceiving. All right, so far this brush is performing just the same as this one, even though the bristles are a different color. The shorter one has a darker bristle. And so I'm just applying that shade all over my eyelid, all the way up to my brow bone. Okay, next I'm gonna go in with the number 2 shade, which is the Enhanced shade. And I'm gonna use that as a transition shade. Usually you're supposed to put it all over the eyelid, but I use it as a transition shade. I feel like it's way too dark for my eyelid. So I really like to use it as a transition shade. Again, although it looks shimmery sort of in the palette, it applies just like the first shade, which is sort of a satin finish. And then I'm just building that up. And I'm doing the same thing to the other eye. When I first saw this palette last year, I had to choose between this one and the glowing one, and I felt like they looked way too similar, so I couldn't justify picking up both shades. I mean, both palettes. So I missed out on this one. I'm sorry, my husband is outside this window and he is distracting me. He's doing funny things. Anyways, so when I saw that this was launched again this year, I had to pick it up because I fell in love with the Stone Rose lipstick, which has that like sort of orangey terracotta feel to it. I loved it. Okay, so it looks like this shade is much lighter than I thought it was gonna be. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a little bit on my brush and I'm going to sort of just bring it down on this side like that, just to get a little wash of color. I'm not bringing it all the way in. I'm just giving this a little wash, just to make this a bit more fall. Okay, then now I'm gonna go in with the darkest shade. This is a matte shade and this is the smoke shade. This shade tends to be very pigmented, so I'm literally just dipping my brush super lightly in there and I'm just gonna place the color first because it makes me a little bit nervous, gives me anxiety. And I'd rather be able to build it up than have too much and then have to fix that hot mess. So what I'm doing is I'm placing the color at the corner and then I'm dragging it in to the crease. This palette is really nice. You can wear it as a super soft, everyday fall palette, but I feel like it's soft enough where you can wear it all year round. It doesn't have to be during the fall season. The first palette I got for her was a glowing, gorgeous glowing palette from last year's holiday edition that had that huge star in the front. And I really like that palette. So I've had a very good experience with her instant looking at palette. I know some people haven't, but I truly like it. And I think that if you're on a budget, it's a good way to be able to get everything you want in this palette. Like you have a bronzer, you have a highlight, so you really get to try all of her products. Okay, so we're just gonna blend that out. And then I'm gonna go in with the smudger brush in here. And again, I'm gonna go into that smoke shade. These two shades, in case you were wondering, you do get a bit of kick up. So if that's something that's a really big pet peeve of yours, you may not like this palette. And I'm going to just place this color on the inner lash line, just to darken this area right here. And let's put a little bit more before I move on to the other side. And then I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side. And then I'm gonna grab this same color and I'm just dragging it in the lash line. I'm going to drag it on my bottom lash line. And I'm keeping this on the outer portion of my eye just because on me, I don't know, for some reason it just doesn't look good when I drag it all the way in. A lot of people can get away with it, but I don't know. I don't know if it's my eye shape, I'm not sure. It just doesn't look as flattering. All right. So once I've smudged that into the bottom, just halfway, I am going to go in with the, where is it? The powder brush that's in here. And I'm going to use this powder brush to go into the bronzer, which is step number 4. And this color is very similar to her Sculpt and Bronze bronzer, you know, the one that comes with the highlight that you guys know I love. So I'm just applying this to the hollows of my cheeks with this powder brush, just to bronze up the look. I like to go light-handed because her products are very pigmented. And I'm going to apply this to the temples and around my forehead. Very fluffy brush. I really like it. It's very soft. Picks up a good amount of product. Blends everything nicely. I don't see any shedding so far. If you have the one from last year, the one that came in the blue case, could you leave me a comment down below? Let me know like how your brushes are holding up if you purchased that. I would love to know, because this is my first time purchasing this set of brushes from her in the mini version. So I love this bronzer because that's what I love about her bronzers. They're so seamless. I love a seamless bronze. I don't like to have that like heavy contoured look on the side of my face. Okay, just really blend that into the hairline. The weather has been very gloomy these past couple weeks. It's been raining a lot. Okay, now I'm going to use a different brush for the blush here. Let me see what I've got. I'm going to use my Real Techniques light layer powder brush. This is new, so it picks up a little bit of product, and I'm going to run my brush in between these two colors, 5 and 6, which is the Cheek Swish and the Cheek Pop. I'm just gonna mix them together and see how that turns out. Okay, so this is not picking up that much product, so I feel like this brush is gonna be for a blush that's much stronger. So let me grab another brush here. So I'm gonna go in with my Bare Minerals Dual Finish Blush and Contour brush, and I'm going to use the darker side, and I'm just gonna mix those colors together. And just smile with your mouth closed. I have to do that in order to be able to see my cheek, you know, because the shape of my face is not very predominant like it is on other people. All right, so this is soft. You guys know I'm not a huge fan of luminous blushes, and although the number 5 shade is technically like a luminous finish, it's subtle. I have oily skin, so I don't like anything that's luminous. It just never looks good on me. Because once my face starts to get oily, it starts to accentuate my enlarged pores around my T-zone and my cheek. All right, so I want you to see something. I'm getting a lot of kick up from these colors. I don't know if you can see the pan. So if that's not something that you're into, you may not like this palette. All right, the next thing I'm gonna use is a highlighter brush. And I'm gonna use my IT Cosmetics highlight brush. This was part of their holiday edition last year, and I'm gonna go into the last shade in here, which is number 7, which is a highlight shade. And I'm just going to fan that over my very tiny cheekbones. I barely have cheekbones. Okay, I'm gonna put a little bit on the temples right here. I don't know, I just like doing that. You can totally skip that step. This is a nice highlight. It's a lot brighter than I thought. But it goes. It goes. I don't put any highlight on my nose again because I'm oily. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in with the super skinny brush that's in here, and I'm gonna go into the highlight shade and I'm gonna apply that in the inner corner of my eye. That's pretty. So this tiny brush you can use for lip products or for like inner corner highlight, or if you really want to get close to the lash line. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and apply eyeliner, brow gel, and mascara off camera, and then I'll be back. I'm gonna be using the Walk of No Shame eyeliner, in case you're wondering, my Charlotte Tilbury eyebrow gel in Universal. Oh my gosh, this print is so small. I don't know, it's the dark brown shade. I can't even read it, so small. I'm gonna be using my Chanel eyeliner for the bottom lash line, and in Claire, this is like the color of my skin tone. And then I'll be using an an eyelash primer from Chanel. So I'll be right back. All right, so I'm back. Actually, I didn't apply the Chanel mascara. I did apply the Chanel lash primer, but I forgot I had the Pillow Talk Push Up Lashes mascara. This mascara is really big, like it's the girth, it's got girth. So I did that. I did apply the eyeliner. I did try to do like a little wing. This side came out like, you know, nice. I have a dot there of lipstick because I almost put on the lipstick before turning on the camera, and I realized I'm not filming. This side didn't come out the same. I really suck at wing liner, but you know, I took a risk. I love this eyeliner. I think it goes so well with the Stones Rose palette. And then now I want to go ahead and apply the Stone Rose lipstick just to tie the whole look together. This lipstick should have a lip liner. Charlotte, if you're watching this, we want a lip liner for the Stone Rose lipstick. And here is the Stoned Rose lipstick. I think it goes really nicely with this palette. I love this terracotta orangey kind of tone that it gives you. This palette is so nice. It's a very simple everyday palette. As far as the mascara is concerned, I like it. It gives a lot of length. I like that it really separates your lashes. However, I'm gonna have to play around with it a little bit more and just apply layers, because I tend to like my lashes with a little bit more mascara on it. But I will get back to you on that. The eyeliner, the Walk of No Shame eyeliner, bomb. I love, love, love this. In reference to the Charlotte Tilbury eyebrow gel, I think you guys can skip out on this. It's not something I recommend for somebody who has thicker eyebrows. I have really thick eyebrow hairs, and this brush is too small for my eyebrow hairs. Like, that's how tiny it is. Super skinny, super tiny. It just it doesn't work well. I still prefer the Benefit Gimme Brow gel, so I may have to pick that up before the sale is over, because this is the only eyebrow gel product I have at the moment, and I always like to have a backup. You never want to be caught in a tight situation. So anyways, guys, that completes this look. I hope that you guys really like it. If for any reason you guys wanted to intensify this look, you can really just go into the smoke shade and just deepen that up. I can go ahead and try to put a little bit more just so that you guys can see. But this is my preferred way of wearing it. I wouldn't do anything else to it. I absolutely love this palette. I think it's great. I can use it all year round. You don't have to think. And literally, this is the only thing you have to carry around with you, because it has everything in it. You've got your bronzer, your highlight, and your cheek product all in one place. And with the brush set, I mean, with these two things, it's minimal space, especially if you're traveling for the holidays. You've got all the brushes that you need to use this palette. I think the only thing extra you're gonna need to obviously pack would be your foundation and your eyeliner, but eyeliner doesn't really take up that much space. And your lipstick, I mean, I always have lipstick in my purse. It's not something that I like put in my makeup bag, because I'm always like reapplying, even though we're still wearing masks. I don't care. I'm wearing my lipstick, okay? It's just me. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoyed the look. I'll give you one last close-up. Like I said, this is a very subtle palette. So if you're looking for something simple and you don't like to wear a ton of makeup, I highly suggest this palette. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time, guys.